Last week we were celebrating all the green in the market, and this week unfortunately we're seeing a lot of red. Should we be worried? What should we be doing during this time? And an update across the NFT games that we are into. Stay tuned. Hello, hola, kamusta everyone. This is Luke with Luke Plays to Earn, where I help you become from krills, the small tiny little investors, to hopefully one day whales. And the Play to Earn market Mondays here that I'm doing each and every week, tracking the games, tracking the tokens, tracking the NFT marketplace, so that we can figure out what should we be doing during these times. Are we bullish? Are we bearish? Are we selling? Are we buying? What is my thoughts for this week? And remember, this is just for information, so don't just base all of your trading ideas. This is not financial advice. This is just to give information to know where we're at in the market and hopefully help us to make better decisions as we play to earn in these games. So for watching how the gaming tokens perform, usually you want to look at Bitcoin and Ethereum first, because still a lot of the market depends on, if they're up, a lot of the market becomes bullish. If they're down, a lot of the market becomes bearish. And last week, again, we were celebrating a lot of green, breaking through that 40,000 on Bitcoin. I'm not a trader. I'm not trading these things day in and out. I'm just using this to track what is the overall sentiment and feeling for the market. And, having such a big pump like this over a week, it's not surprising for us to come and retest this, especially at 42K. So right now, as I'm doing this video, you can see it's kind of slow down as on the decline the last few days. So even though we're down a couple percent this week from last Monday when we did this video, really this key level is this right here. And if we break this, if we break below 40, then I turn more bearish. But if we, bounce off this and continue to go higher, then obviously we're bullish. So right now I feel like it's more of just like an in-between phase where I can't really say if I'm feeling bearish or bullish around the market. We could be in a phase like this where it had, back in August, a huge run up. Then we needed some time to cool off before getting that next leg up. So not surprised that we're seeing a little bit of a downtrend between Bitcoin and Ethereum, who pumped pretty hard this last week. I feel like the major tests you want to watch out for in the next couple days. If we start falling, we could start falling hard on Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe retest these lows again or back to 30K. And that's when we would find a lot of good gaming tokens on sale, because they probably get hit pretty hard. But if we can continue to bounce off of Bitcoin here, we could be looking at more green for some of our gaming tokens. Again, I'm not trading these. I'm more of just a dollar cost average type of guy, because I'm not good enough to trade each and every day. For me, it'd be more gambling. But those are the things that I'm looking for that dollar cost averaging. If we fall down again, I'd be looking for a lot of purchasing opportunities. And we've already seen some gaming tokens being hit through this little downturn this week. So there might be some good dollar cost averaging points right here even. So you can see here, a lot of the gaming tokens are down because Bitcoin and Ethereum go down. Usually, again, people panic a little bit and they start pulling out their money from other projects as well, and these altcoins. And a lot of these gaming tokens, while some of them are big, over $1 billion, most of them are still pretty dang small. And so a lot of it, the bigger cap tokens took about a 12% hit on average. Really interesting that Axie got flipped by Sandbox. This is the first time I've seen Axie not in first place in market cap. I'm trying to remember a time that after the Axie token launched that it wasn't in first place. So a lot of negative sentiment towards Axie. The ironic thing is SLP was the one gaming token that did really pump, almost reaching back to a billion market cap after being cut down to 500 million. So, Axie's made some changes so that SLP, unfortunately for me, a player that mostly what I could be good at was adventure mode. They cut those rewards. They're only bringing rewards now to, ranked play, and the better you are at ranked play, the more you get. So they're making it more competitive, I think lowering the supply, and maybe it's working. We're seeing a huge pump, but remember that this huge pump was off a massive drop to SLP at one point. It probably came down, what was it, like 30, 40 cents now to like 1 cent. And now it's back up to 3 cents. So it's a big pump, but it took a big crash. So it's not crazy that's having a pump from, 1 cent to whatever it is, 2.5 to 3 cents now. Then for the 250 million cap tokens, you can see that it's definitely not hit as hard as the 1 billion, but that's literally just because of SLP. You can see if we take this away here, instead it is a negative 25% change. So really, besides SLP, you can see the big cap tokens took a hit, but the ones in the middle took even a bigger hit. Then the million cap tokens and 50 million cap tokens hit about the same at negative 18% across the board. You can see as far as market cap change. The only ones in the green were Splinterlands, Blue Zell, a blockchain, GuildFi that's trying to bring guilds together in one platform, and Splinterlands were the only ones in the green, which is ironic because last week Splinterlands was actually one of the worst gainers. It didn't go up while the rest of the market was going up like crazy, and this week while the market was down, it is still going just up barely, which isn't really too crazy to think about for SPS. As I said last video, if you haven't checked out Crypto Llama has done some great technical analysis on this, calling it a rounded bottom coming down and hopefully leveling out before going back up. And you can see that, you know, this is probably what it's going to be like for a while for Splinterlands, especially as it's pumping out more tokens through the airdrop, that I would assume that we're going to hover around in this area for quite some time before we go back up. So it's probably not going to go up in crazy markets when we're hitting those bulls, but it's probably not going to spike crazy down like a lot of these tokens are. So that's where I'm seeing, you know, SPS token probably hovering in that 10 to 15 cents for a while. We'll see if we get a change there, but so far that's remained true. Then you can see some of the worst losses for the week. None of these tokens I'm really that into, so I can't really talk about it that much. But if you're into any of these took a massive, you know, 25 to 30% hit this week. It is interesting to note though that all those worst losses came from tokens that were in the 50 million plus cap tokens, or Starl and Bezoj, who fell from the 250 million down to 100 million. So you can see those medium to small cap tokens. Those are the ones who are going to fluctuate the most. So if you're into those, just be careful. Understand that those small market caps means the price can change just like that. Then we can look at the NFT marketplaces, which last week after I saw the token price pump, my theory was maybe this will get people back into NFTs. We might see a little bit of hype, but with the market slowing down again this week, obviously a lot of the change is actually more negative. You can see the volume across the board, except for CryptoPunks and Axie, is down quite a lot this week. Really, the price change has gone up a little bit, but a large portion of that is literally just CryptoPunks pumping, you know, up $400,000 in average price according to DApp Radar. And then same thing with traders. Except for Axie and Blocked Obey, really a lot of the traders have volume gone down as well. So volume, price, and trading as far as some of these top NFT marketplaces are all slowing down and lowering right now as well. So even though a lot of the tokens were pumping last week, it still seems like there's a lot of hesitancy around the market. There's still some fear. We're not completely bullish and FOMOing into a lot of these projects, which means that we potentially have more time to start buying and dollar cost averaging into our favorite projects. Lastly, let's look at how our game tracking is going. You can see across the top 10 games, we moved up just an average of 2.5% users. So again, not a lot of FOMO back into these projects like I was wondering with these token pump prices. You can see Splinterlands and Alien Worlds, just small gains. The rest of them, Axie Infinity, again, tumbling down, which is interesting, even though SPL has pumped. You can see the average users, according to DApp Radar, down 17% this week, which is pretty crazy. Everything else, just small gains or losses. And then the Mobox, which I think is just an NFT trading place, really mostly not even a game. That is the one that gained the most users this week. Really, the big gainer was Mobox, which I haven't checked out too much, but I know they're making multiple NFT games and have a marketplace, so that might be one that we need to check out soon. Then Splinterlands, which I know a lot of you guys watch me for, has some interesting things. You can see it's mostly in the green, not much red, but not a lot of change either. Silver Power, just a little more expensive. The level 2 General Sloan or level 2 Kelia, just up slightly, not much change there. Silver 3 chest value, again, just a slight bump there. And then you can see card prices are up again, but it's a lot of the older cards and especially a lot of the legendaries or legendary summoners. So you can see here on Splinter cards, a lot of the untamed cards, yes, they've gone up, but it's mostly the ones at the top like Yodin, Kitty, Llama, Chain Golem, Mimosa, Little Deep Swimmer. All of these things are going up by like $100 or so. Same thing with even our reward cards. It's a lot of the reward cards, even though the reward cards are up as a whole, a lot of them are the big ones here at the top. They're a little more expensive. Some of those have gone up $30, $40 as well. So what that is showing to me is that a lot of the market isn't necessarily blowing up overall, but there are some of those older cards that we've talked about. They're deflationary in nature. As you combine them together, there's less of these cards. They're not being printed anymore. So I think there's some more maybe FOMO or people just wanting to buy up some of those really powerful old cards that are becoming more and more rare. And so if you're holding on to those cards or maybe flipping those cards, then you might be seeing some good gains. But again, those are some really expensive cards. So a lot of my community, you're probably not really seeing much value in your accounts go up. With that being said, Chaos Legion pack opening average and Chaos Legion cards are roughly exactly the same. So as I've said before, I'm not FOMOing in. I'm trying to put bids on cards I like to level up. And I think we still have some time to get Chaos Legion cards, especially because the packs have really seemed to slow down. We've only sold 100,000 packs this week on an average of 14,000 a day, which I believe before a week or two ago, they were saying, we were selling somewhere around 50,000 packs a day. So we might see a long time if we continue at this rate, unless we see some, bullish momentum and people FOMOing back into buying some packs. Axie prices pretty much the same. We're seeing a lot of momentum with SLP. I was wondering if that was going to bring up the Axie price, but still actually just down $1 from where it was last week of the 3 cheapest Axies. Phaeton Arena taking another big hit. Just when you thought this game couldn't go any lower, it seems like the prices of these tokens keep going lower and lower. The cheaper heroes on the market are down as well. The rental market, who knows, because it just came out last week when I put in this number. So rental market prices also going down with the token price as well. Gods Unchained, we might need to find new data to track because it doesn't look like the decks are really changing in price that much. And then I also put in Peg Axie, which was interesting because I just wanted to track this project. I'm not into it. I'm probably not going to buy into it ever because I'm just more watching from the outside and thinking, is this somehow the next Axie Infinity that just pump like crazy and then is going to dump? Or are they going to be able to figure out ways to make it different than Axie to keep it sustainable? But you can see some of the lowest pay Axies I was looking at last week was roughly around $1,500. And this week I saw one for under $1,000. So at least right now it's just starting to go down. And I'm wondering, is this just a bump in the road or will we see a big crash? I don't know. What do you guys think? So some conclusions from this week as I look at the market. Axie, I'm still not bullish on, even though SLP is hot right now. Everything else kind of says that, hey, the market is still hesitant or the market is still down. So I'm a little bit worried still for Axie until they can just put out some updates and not just talk about it. It seems like NFTs overall, it's still kind of slow right now. I think people are still being a little more hesitant. We're not seeing the huge FOMO that we saw in other potential bull runs. So I think we still have some time to find some NFTs at good prices. Splinterlands, it seems like the market is being pretty stable except for those older cards, but realize with those older cards, because there's less of them, it is more volatile in nature because there's less supply. So it could go up, it could go back down. But if you're trying to build up and you have the funds for that untamed card set and you want to buy up some legendary summoners, you want to buy some of those older cards and start leveling up those cards, remember that this is probably the time to do it, and I don't know if we'll see those low prices again on those older cards. Chaos Legion, we're completely fine, I think, for a while, especially until those packs sell out. So for building up our Chaos Legion decks, I think we have plenty of time to find what decks we like, try out some rentals, put some bids, and find some good deals. Phaeton, is just continuing to crash, so I don't know what's going to happen to this game, if it will even survive, or if it's going to find a floor at some point and make a turnaround. It's hard to say. Other than that, what I'm watching for this week is what Bitcoin does around that 42K area. Will we see a bump back up or will we see it fall through 40 to 42K again? I think that's going to make the market a lot more hesitant once again. So there you go. That's how the market did this week. What I'm doing is looking for those NFT projects that are coming out that are good deals that I like, or buying into some projects that have taken a hit, especially with some tokens that have dropped off. Again, could they go further down? Yes, that's why I'm dollar cost averaging in, meaning I'm going to buy a little bit here now that it's fallen off from that pump of last week. And then if it continues to go down, I'm not going to spend all my funds this week. I'm going to keep some funds with me so that if it goes down further from here, I can buy even into more projects. But let me know what you guys think. How are you feeling about the market? How are you buying it? How are you trading it? What are you doing this week? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the comments and in the Discord. Take care, Krill Crew. Peace out.